Welcome to First Person Defender, where good guy role players come face to face with unknown attackers in real-world scenarios and fight their way out. Each episode of First Person Defender features a situation straight out of real life.
I got a gun.
This is First Person Defender. In this episode of First Person Defender, a short trip to the store becomes dangerous when an argument turns deadly.
My name's Raven. I live in Atmore, Alabama. I joined the Army. I became an aircraft helicopter engine repairer. So I just worked on helicopter engines. I was on the FOB, I was a FOB-it, and I did just kind of maintenance work, but I also was in charge of the arms room.
My initial impression of Raven is that she's pretty diverse. She's got a great background, military, training. She's worked on some really cool machines. She seems like a can-do type of person.
This training exercise, I think it's going to be fun. I think that it's going to be eye-opening. I think it's going to show me some holes that I have in my self-defense that maybe you're aware of, but you don't know how to focus on.
The way Raven talks actually sounds a lot like I think. You truly never feel like you're prepared for whatever comes next. I think she's going to do really well. I think she underestimates.
I have acquired my concealed carry license. I've only had it for a couple of years, so I'm just getting used to carrying. I feel like it's very obvious when I carry. So if I go on a long trip or something like that, I always carry. But if I go to the grocery store, maybe not so much. But I think that I will start to carry more in the future.
I'm actually half tempted to put Raven into this scenario without a gun because she doesn't carry a gun when she goes on short trips, and this is going to be a short trip. If she didn't have a gun for this, she might wish she did.
This force-on-force training uses Simunitions, a non-lethal alternative to live ammunition. The camera crew wears yellow shirts and are considered to be invisible to role players.
No.
I was watching you.
That
okay?
wasn't me.
I was watching you.
That wasn't me.
I saw you do it.
That wasn't me, dude. I did not steal none. No.
Yeah. All right then. All
Put
right.
your hands up. Put your hands up.
What?
Get down.
What?
Get down on the ground.
What?
Get down on the ground.
No.
Get down on the ground. Do not come any closer to me. Do not come any closer to me. Put your gun on the ground. Put your gun on the ground. You're raising your gun at me. Put your hand out. Put your hand out.
All right, index. Well, tell me what happened, first of all.
So I came in and I heard the argument, but I think I was so focused on something was going to happen to me that I thought it would be like in the counter or a typical scenario.
So you were going to be the victim, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be somebody else and mostly somebody else that was just like in an argument.
You tell me why you shot that
I
guy.
felt like he had the advantage and he was the aggressor, but I was not paying enough attention, I think, to what they were saying to each other to necessarily know. I was going off of a body feel.
Okay, so why did you shoot him? Because I heard you say something after, right, or at least right at the moment you shot him, you said something to him.
Because when I heard a shot go off, when I realized that something else had happened, I felt like that person was still aggressing. So whoever was still aggressing at that point must be the problem, but I don't know.
Well, I'll refresh your memory. I'll tell you, what I heard was, don't raise your gun towards me. I heard you say something about raising your gun, and I'd have to play back the video footage.
What?
Get down on the ground.
No.
Get down on the ground. Do not come any closer to me. Do not come any closer to me. Put your gun on the ground. Put your gun on the ground. You're raising your gun at me.
But that's when you shot him.
Right.
That's when you shot him. So,
well, I felt like the gun came up higher, and I said that, and it was at a place where I felt like he could pop it up pretty easily at that point, and I thought that 1 or 2 seconds, I don't know if what I'm standing behind is good enough cover. I wasn't willing to risk it.
well, you thought about a lot of good things, and you've just covered a lot of great points. So you didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
Although I'm afraid that the guy that you shot
Was the wrong guy?
was just a concealed carry permit holder.
Okay.
But he really didn't behave properly.
Okay.
He was not clear with you.
Yeah.
He left options open for you, and he did raise his gun. Just so happened to be that I was a witness to this shooting, and I saw that happen.
Right.
I hope that you saw that, and that's why you shot him.
I did feel like aggression was coming towards me at a certain point. I felt like somebody was not corresponding with me at all. I wasn't getting any kind of feedback, so I aggressed.
Okay, well, you know what? It was an ugly situation. It was tense, uncertain, and rapidly evolving, and those are words from
Yeah,
Supreme
yeah.
Court. But that is exactly what happened, and it's going to be very hard for you to play it all back in your mind right now at this very instant.
Yeah.
I think you did a pretty good job of explaining it. I don't think it was intentional that you were thrown a ball, but right at the most critical moment in the scenario, a ball came flying back, and you caught it.
I don't know why I caught it.
Well, you certainly
I didn't know why
did.
I had
So
a
you
ball either. I was like, should I throw this?
And then the shot went off, and then you dropped it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm missing something here.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know if I should throw it. I'm glad it wasn't a grenade, but I did catch it, yes.
I get a lot of questions, why use lasers? Well, lasers have a place, definitely in defensive shooting, in personal defense, but also in low light shooting, whether it be competition or defensive shooting in low light. There's no faster way to pick up and make a sight picture downrange in the dark than to use a laser. You can reference the gun when you aim the gun, but you don't have to make a hard sight-focused sight picture, because as I present the gun, the laser goes right to the center of target, my focus stays out there, and I can deliver hits. So, next time you're out shooting with a laser, think about all the different uses for it, from defensive shooting in the daytime to defensive shooting or competition at night. All right, so Raven, you did a lot of things really right, but the problem is we had Tim over here who really didn't give you any choice. So when you shot him, I was not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere I'm on video going, yeah, you had it coming to him. You shot him because he did what?
Because he lifted his gun a little bit, and I felt like it was too close to a range where he could easily put it chest high.
Well, what's faster, action or reaction? You know?
Yes, definitely.
It's always going to be action. He had a gun, he had it up in his hand, and he was turning. Now, Tim, you told me it was kind of by design what you did. You kind of forced her. You want to see what you could get away with.
Sure. Yeah, I wanted to see how far I could push her and get a reaction.
Okay, so the reality is that a lot of people are going to be like Tim and do what he did. They're not going to be comprehending. They're going to have auditory exclusion. They're going to have tunnel vision. That means they're not going to be able to hear right. They're not going to be able to see right. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So your initial things, your thoughts about, hey, I want to create some distance and do that, you know, that was all great.
Yeah.
Tim's over there. He's got the gun in his hand, and you were pointing it at him and giving him verbal commands, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and point your gun at Tim.
Okay.
So, Tim, what I want you to do is, I want you to just, whenever you're ready, you're going to punch out and take a shot at her, and you're going to react and shoot him before he shoots you. I want you to say bang when you do it. Ready? On you.
Bang.
Bad trade, right? Do it again. Ready? Do it again.
Bang.
Bad trade at the very least, right?
Right.
So let's talk about creating a little more distance, a little more cover. Let's take a position on him. Now we got the SIRT pistol, which is a good thing. And if I'm gonna point a gun at somebody that's holding a gun, I can take up that first stage of the trigger. So point it at him and take up that first stage instead of finger alongside the frame.
Okay.
So come into that trigger. I'll know when you're in there because I'll see the laser come on. Now can you feel where you're at now?
I can.
Now press off a shot on him. Okay, stay right at that pressure wall. Now give him verbal commands. Come on, be in that, I don't see the laser on, which means you're not touching the trigger for real.
Okay.
All right, so give him verbal commands and tell him what to do.
Don't raise your gun at me.
Don't raise your gun.
Put your hands out.
Do the bang thing.
Bang.
It was a lot easier, quicker to get a shot on him, plus you got a little bit of cover, so now we've got a little bit of a tactical advantage.
Right.
So the cool thing about this pistol is for training right now, I can actually be on the trigger, pressing it, and all I've got to do is finish breaking the shot.
Right.
So that's kind of a neat thing. Now, his pistol is very high. So tell me when you get uncomfortable. We're down here behind cover.
Okay. Now, do I have my,
If I know the guy's got a gun, I've probably got my finger on the trigger.
Yeah, okay.
Now, you may not be comfortable with that, but that is a 100% training issue you have to think about.
Right.
If you can't touch the trigger without the gun going off, you probably should never touch the trigger unless you intend to shoot it.
True.
But we have our training right now, and we have an inert pistol, so we're good. So aim at him.
Okay.
Take up that first stage and give him verbal. Tell me when you're going to shoot him.
Wait, as he's lifting it up? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Tell me when it's too far. You're giving. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what he did in the scenario, isn't it?
Yes.
First Person Defender is brought to you by Crimson Trace, Springfield Armory, and Ruger.
In Raven's scenario, we talked about having a soft focus so we could see more in that room. It was a small room. So what I've done is I've set up some targets on this range and we're working at a relatively close distance. I've got Barrett here helping me out. And with Barrett standing and facing down range, if he doesn't stare at anything, he can see both of these targets relatively clearly. But if he looks at the right target and stares at it, he can't really see what's going on with the left target, and vice versa. If he stares at the left target, he can't really see what's going on with the right. Can you see my hand next to your head over here waving around?
I cannot.
Okay, now turn and look forward, and don't stare at it. Can you see my hand
Yes.
here? You can see so much more when you just have a soft focus. Now here's a really cool drill that you could do on a range. You could do it with a partner. And so with Barrett here, he's got his revolver, so go ahead and grab out your revolver. There's two positions we can fire from on this drill. One would be in a high ready position where he could stand here and cover both of these guys, or he could come out to a scan ready position just low and below his eyes, and we can work from here. So I'm gonna tell Barrett, whatever position you choose, maybe a high ready, I'm gonna call a target, left or right, and he's gonna engage that target with 2 rounds. Left! Comes back to the center, he's scanning, he sees everything. Left. See, I threw him off. That's why you got to do this with a partner. You come down to the range, have a good time, shoot some targets, learn about soft focus and multiple targets. Ruger's new SR 1911 and 9mm is light and easy to carry. It has a couple of great features, 3-dot sights, skeletonized hammer, and it has a trigger that's adjustable for over travel. It also takes all standard 1911 aftermarket parts, so you could trick it out if you want to. Man, that's sweet. Another fine 1911 by Sturm Ruger. We threw Raven a pretty tough situation with 2 people, with 2 guns. Well, that's tough. And generally, we change things up in the second scenario, but this is gonna be one of those where it's gonna be extremely similar to the first scenario, but there will be a twist.
Yeah. You are.
Why do you keep looking at me?
Because I know you.
No,
I know you.
No, that's
I'm
crap.
telling you, you are that person.
You know what? You know what?
Back up!
Put your hands up.
Whoa, police, police!
Take your weapon away from your body.
Police, put it down! Put it down, police!
Where are you? I can't see you.
Put your weapon down. Police.
Oh, I see your badge. I don't see it well.
Put it down. Reholster your weapon.
To the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
Back away from it.
Okay.
Ma'am, go ahead and call police. Call 911.
Me?
Yes, you. Go ahead and call 911.
Index, index, index. Very good, thank you.
I couldn't see anything in there.
That was getting a little foggy. So tell me about that one.
Okay, it was really similar to the last time where there was a lot of yelling. There was somebody holding a gun. I couldn't exactly tell who was the good guy and who was the bad guy. When he held his badge up, it was a little foggy and it was hard for me to see, and I felt like, can I trust this? Could this be something that looks like a badge and maybe not a badge? So I was really reluctant to put my weapon down, but I wanted to lower it, but getting your brain to lower it is also kind of hard because you don't want to lose defense of yourself, so it was a struggle.
What did you think about the police officer's body language? He obviously he had good, strong verbal commands, but what about his body language? Did it match?
Well, I felt like
Did it convince you? Tell me.
It did. I felt like he stayed in a good position. He had a good, strong position, which made it seem like he was either trained or he knew what he's doing. He wasn't kind of standing to the side. I felt like he was standing in a way that made it seem like he had control of his weapon and he was trying to control the situation. So
a teachable moment, not just for you saying, well, you know what, I identified this about a person, but what if, you know, the good guy in the last one had taken more command and acted more appropriately?
Right,
Might have gone better
and he
for
did,
him.
and he spoke to me, he acknowledged me, he stayed strong in his positioning of what he was doing, rather than, you know, coming up at me. He stayed with the person as if he understood, like, I can handle you and this guy.
I thought your actions were really good. Tell me what was going through your mind as you submitted to him.
So I was trying to find a happy medium. I didn't want to just kick it away and be left in the middle of nowhere in case more happened or that it wasn't what it seemed.
Good training point. If anybody ever doesn't tell you what to do with your gun and they just say, set it down, set it down. Don't kick it away. Don't ever put it farther away from you than you have to.
Yeah.
That was great. Good thinking on your part.
It was good. That was good. It was, you guys got me off guard because I wasn't ready for that. I was like, this time somebody's gonna tackle me.